Hello, 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 and welcome to the Clever Channel. Jason, your host. So let's start with having my medication, and then we will. Hello, Bertie. This isn't food, Bertie. This isn't food. I know you're food centric. Right. The Beryl's okay this morning. Munchies was awesome. Munchies was awesome. Awesome munchies of happiness. Right, so I'm here. I'm awake. I went to bed at 4 and we woke up at about 9:30, which is good, which is very good. No, I went to bed about 4:30, so it was probably 5 when I got. Still good though. We are here. We are splendiferously, awesomely, and happy sound go boom. Oh. I'm a happy person. Billy Bouncing. Bertie, calm down. You know I've got to do stuff. Bertie's just here trying to climb on. Calm down. Okay, let's do what we've got to do. What do we have to do? Oh God, I'm just waking up. Oh, I know. Oh no, I've got to get the food and started. Let's start with that. We are going to have today. We are going to have tuna and potatoes and carrots or mixed veg. I don't know. Let's just embrace the doing that bits and pieces. Let's just do that bits and pieces now. Focus, Jason. Just waking up. We'll just get the potatoes. A load of potatoes. La 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 la. I'm just happy. Very happy morning. Girls, okay, she's not too bad. She's so we're just going to face the normal stuff this morning. Potatoes and potatoes are being cooked up at the moment. Remember, I never take off the skins. I never peel potatoes because a lot of the goodness is on the Berkey. The Berkey is starting to be. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Just mellow it out and in all the water on the Berkey. Don't need that. Was in there. What goes on? I'm just. We're going to use the last of the fresh vegetables, the fresh carrots. It's potatoes, carrots, and tuna. Chat, feed the doggies, give them a treat of some kind. there's just the carrots. We've used up the last carrots. I'm still just waiting. Like, we killed the bird. He was more. I've used all the last of the. Focus weapon. Waking up. Two important things are done. Potatoes away. Don't need potatoes out. Oh, because we've got potatoes. Hello, Happy Cat. I saw you at Munchies last night. I'm okay, man. I'm all good, okay. I'm just waking up and I'm just going to make potatoes, some carrots, some tuna. We're going to have some tuna. Dogs. The dogs are going to have their food now. I'm literally just waking up. I love Munchies. I just wish I lived in a better time zone. So the dogs are going to have a little bit of dry dog food. Put some wet dog food on top of that. And we'll put a treat on top of that. How are you this morning? The hot dog sausages I'm going to put on top of the dog's meals. Add water. Just put a bit of water with the dog's food. Right. The doggies are fed. There we go. I'm just bouncing around the kitchen at the moment. Everything seems to be okay. A quick drink. Now I'm going to just fill up the Berkey. Berkey needs to, my water filter needs to be filled up. So we'll put, I have to do this about every 2 or 3 days. It's just a gravity fed filter. One of the best ones you can get the Berkey is KUI. I bought this one in 2015 for Paola because of her immune system being shot. I wanted to make sure she had filtered water. And all the rest had filters that would actually have to be replaced with systems. Were a bit of a con. But the Berkey filter lasts something like 1,000 hours or something like that, 6,000 hours. some more water out for the dog. Fill the down this, now it's there. We are now. Oh, I need to get the tuna out. Tuna! Get the tuna out. Have the 2 tins of tuna. Okay, Shakespeare. You're alive, you're awake, you're not falling asleep. All things down there. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, happy cat. I am here. We are embracing the universe. We are embracing the universe here together today. Yes, we are. What a splendiferous night and day it is. Munchies was awesome. I watched some of it on Twitch after I logged off before I went to bed. You are all amazing. So, what's going on today? Let's just check the news. Check the news and see if there's anything important going on. Or is it all just going to be blah blah? Okay, first of all, we'll check the UK news, Sky News, because. But. Oh, yeah, it's the Easter holidays, isn't it? Oh my god, and all the roads are packed. Not much going on in the UK. But then once I've looked at the UK news services, I try to look at something like Reuters, the worldwide news service, because that seems to have a broader approach. Nothing really going on that's. Ooh. Activision's been naughty. So, what's the plans for today? I think the plans for today are very simple. Have something to eat. Keep an eye on Beryl. Well, she's okay. Everyone like to get on here. Oh, there we go, Beryl. You can be on here for a little bit. Beryl's beautiful on you. You're so beautiful. Beryl's. Aren't you? See, normally she'd be standing up and trying to get on the table. But now she's sitting down on me and letting me hold her instead of trying to get on the table. Your body's not as good as it used to be, is it, baby? You're getting very old. You're a little baby, aren't you? Back down without me falling. Oh. There we are. So I'm going to have something to eat. I want to figure out something in the Steam Deck. I'm slowly evolving the Steam Deck. At the moment, I've got a 2 terabyte external drive now connected to it, which I'm installing a lot of games on, and I want to test that. It's an SSD, so it's the best case scenario. We're going to see just how slow games load from an external drive through the docking system. And then I'm going to figure out the one thing that I haven't figured out up to now, how to patch games. You see, most patches for games, if it's a game that's, some games are on Steam, but the patch for them you have to install from elsewhere. And those patches are EXEs, executables for Windows. Of course, the Steam Deck is using a version of Linux. I better pronounce it right, or my friend will shout at me. I usually call it Linux, and no, people who know Linux don't like it when you call it Linux. And so I'm going to have to figure out how we do that, because this is now, this little Steam Deck is now going to be my full-time backup. Well, it does all the stuff down here, because I did have a little laptop, a Windows 11 laptop, but this is much more interesting and works well. I'll be glad when SteamOS is fully functional, to the point where it can be officially supported on other hardware. I'm talking SteamOS 3.0, the one that's used on this little system here. But yeah, the Steam Deck's amazing. The whole point is, I've got it here set up as a full desktop. Let me show you. I've got it set up as a full desktop. We'll use the action cam.
Hard drive, we can.
So that's, right. So you've got my wireless keyboard, my mouse, my Blue Yeti backup type thing. You've got my gamepad and my Bluetooth headset. Got this little monitor over here, which is a 16-inch, very cute little monitor, very old. Well, it's actually a TV, a television, and that shows the OBS client. So I can look to there to see what the OBS client. The internal Steam Deck display is showing the chat screen, and then I've got this main screen here, which I was looking at, of course, routers and that. So it's a full desktop, and it's connected via the Steam dock through the one connector there. And I've got a few things connected to it at the back. And so, let me just stop this. So the Steam Deck isn't just a little handheld gaming console. It can do so much more. I've got a 2 terabyte. Internally, I've got a 1 terabyte micro SD in the slot, and I've got a it came with the 512 gigabyte M2. So I can just unplug it and use it in my hands anywhere. I can take it to the bathroom. I can take it to the living room. I can watch stuff on it. I can watch movies on it. I can cast movies from it to my TV. I can do all that as well. But once it's plugged into the dock, it automatically mounts a 2 terabyte external drive, which I'm filling up with games and that and software. And so you've got this huge, massive amount of stuff right in front of me. And it's a full desktop. It's able, as you can see, it's handling the streaming. It's streaming the small camera over there, that's watching the food, and it's also handling my Wi-Fi, my phone as my main one, and the action cam that I use when I'm showing you the food and things like that. So it does all of that. It's an amazing little piece of kit. You can actually use it as a full desktop, and because it's using Steam OS, I would say 90% of the games I own run on it without a problem. The funny thing is, when you look at the front end of Steam, there's like a section of it where it says these games run perfectly on the Steam deck. But then there's lots of titles that have got yellow ticks, and you might have to tweak them. But it's the kind of tweaking that us as PC gamers are used to. For example, let's say there's a game out there that works perfectly with the deck, but at some point in time during the game, it might pop up a tutorial and say to you, use your mouse and keyboard to do this. Now, the controls for the Steam Deck work perfectly for the game, but because it's still got those words in there that are referring to a keyboard and mouse instead of the Steam controller, it's not classed as a green tick. So really, a lot of the stuff that's what called yellow, or it doesn't know if it's run, is for little tiny things like that, which we're used to as gamers anyway. It's the most amazing piece of kit I've ever had. I've got like, so at the moment, it's got my top, something like 100, 150 emulation games. Let's just, where are you? There he is. What have I got installed at this moment in time on this system? Space Invaders, the Atari 2600. Time Stalkers for the Dreamcast. We've got, for the Game Boy, we've got Final Fantasy Legend, Final Fantasy Legend 2, lots of RPGs, because I'm into RPGs. Great Greed, Pokemon, all of the Pokemons of that. Then we go down to the Game Boy Color. We've got about 10 games in the Game Boy Color, including Dragon Warriors, Monsters 2, and Dragon Legend of the River King. Then we go to the Nintendo DS. It'll emulate that. So I've got my Shin Megami Tensei games and my Pokemon Soul Server, which is one of my favorite Pokemon games. Then we go to PlayStation 2. It's got Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, Grandia 2, all of those games, Xenosaga. Then we go to the PlayStation Portable. It's got all these games, Final Fantasy 4, Legend of Heroes, hundreds of games, all on that. And then you've got all my normal PC games on here. And it's just like, it'll just run everything. And it's a nice thing about it. The only thing it can't do is VR. You can tweak it and you can manage to get it to run VR, but it runs VR badly. To be honest, it runs VR. It's not meant for VR. I would say it needs about 20% more power. The games I'm into right now. I play a lot of games. Star Trek Online, I love that. It's my favorite MMO. I've been playing that since it came out in 2000 that might have come out in 2009, 2010, 2011. I still play it now. I still log in every single day. When I get upstairs, I'll play that. Bloons Tower Defense 6. I love that. Paint the Town Red I'm playing at the moment. I have lots of different games because my brain needs to focus on all different things to keep me occupied. Got games like, now and then I'll go on Else Heartbreak and yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, Bloons Tower Defense 6 and the ones before it the company Ninja Kiwi are amazing, and they are always supporting, adding new characters, adding new maps, and so on. Yeah, hey, Scum. Yeah. So, Paint the Town Red is another game like Bloons that has a lot of depth. I mean, when people first play Paint the Town Red, you just go through the basic scenarios and you're just blowing stuff up and having a bit of fun, and that's great. But then you see there's the beneath section when you can go and explore like eldritch horrors and things like that, and level up your character. And there's so many things to. And if you just want a quick blast and that, you can just basically go into one of the normal scenarios and beat the crap out of hundreds of things and basically paint the ground red. Or you can do other things. I like games where there's a lot of support, where the developers and the community have come together. Like if you look at Bloons Tower Defense 6, the amount of content and meta and deep strategies, it's got the most defensive, the most strategies in that you'll ever see in that kind of game. And Paint the Town Red is very like that as well. It's a very cheap game as well. It's another game where there's so much content and there's so much developed content on Steam, the modding form and that, because it's open to people making new maps and everything like that. And it's wonderful to see something like that being done. So I love playing that game as well. Instruments of Destruction is another one that I play a lot at the moment. But I bounce around so many different games. The Long Dark. I'm going to start playing The Long Dark again today. There's been another update for The Long Dark. How many hours have I got in The Long Dark? Oh boy, let's have a look at how many hours I've got in The Long Dark. I've got 674 hours in The Long Dark. Wow. I played all the Bloons games all the way back to the original. I'm always looking for games. I like primarily single player or cooperative. I'm not into PvP games. The only PvP game I used to play was EVE Online. And no other game came close to it when it comes to PvP. There was consequences for whatever you did. And I played some Plants vs Zombies. I like the original Plants vs. The Room 2, The Room 3, The Room 4 because I like the puzzle stuff. I usually play all 4 room games, and then I give myself a rest so I forget how to do all the puzzles, and then I start again. It's very much my brain. I don't have any plan. I never have a plan when it comes to games. I will basically start a stream in the morning when I get back upstairs, and I will just say, okay, I'm going to play this, and just start playing something. My brain, it's just whatever my brain wants to do at the time. It's all about therapy. It's all about keeping me going and all that. So I'm just slowly increasing the amount of stuff I've got on this system. So in 29 minutes stream. But yeah, I love the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck's an amazing piece of. It's so much more than just a handheld console. We talk about safe spaces for autistic people, and this is my mobile safe space. Oh, we've got... At the moment, Baldur's Gate 3 is installing on the... I couldn't put Baldur's Gate 3 on my main drives because internally I've got 1.5 terabyte of space on the main computer, on the main systems inside it. But that isn't a lot when you think about games like Baldur's Gate that are 115 gigabyte in size, and stuff like Cyberpunk, which is, I think it's 60, 70 gig. You can very quickly fill up that thing. So having the 2 terabyte for games that I don't play as often, and I will mainly play in big screen mode on a monitor when it's in dock mode, I can put them all on the actual other drive. I'm always looking for Vampire Survivor and Nomad Survivors. Those are 2 games that I play a lot. So yeah, I've left my computer at the moment, this little system, just slowly installing stuff in a way that it doesn't affect my streaming. Oh, we should actually look at things now. The food is probably ready, but we're going to have to get something. I'm going to have to drain the tuna. We'll do the tuna now. Feel free, you can ask me anything. I'm a pretty open person, so you can ask me about anything. I will answer because I don't really have a filter. Just make sure if you do ask a question, you actually want to know the answer, because I will tell you the answer if you ask. So don't do anything stupid like asking bank account number or anything like that, because I will just shut down the screen. Block the person. I literally don't have filters. So if you ask me a question about something, I will answer it. So drain these tins of tuna. The dogs will have this juice on them, a little bit of it later. It's tuna in spring water. I know. Tuna with mashed potatoes, and that sounds weird. In fact, I've got a friend who really hates the idea of it. I haven't tried it. It actually works quite well. So I'm just going to have that when it's here. But yeah, I had a nice mellow morning actually. Munchies was amazing, as per usual. There was all the little movies over there to cycle. And hey, Kibble Cat, welcome, yay. Is there a genre of games you put? I know you have a, like me, but there's a specific kind. Interesting. Role play games is a big one. We've got to understand. I've got over 1,000 games on my Steam library, and I've also usually got between my 2 systems over 350 games installed. My main computer upstairs has 8 terabytes of space, and it's all full of games that are installed, so that if my brain says I want to play a certain game, I can just play it. Some of those games may only be played once a year, but I've got to have those over 280 odd or 300 games installed at all times. Space Engineers is something I'm playing and 7 Days to Die, things like that as well. But yeah, everything, it's from as varied as games like Monster Prom, which is an awesome game, to Age of Mythology Extended Edition, to Batman, to Horizon Chase Turbo, Oxygen Not Included. There really is no limit to the. I love RPG Maker games. I love the little RPGs, the RPG Maker games. I've usually got about 30 or 40 of them installed, and so on. I will say I also have a massive amount of adult games on my computer systems. Yes, I have a massive amount of adult games. And the reason I don't stream my Skyrim is because my Skyrim is modded in a way that is not stream friendly. My version of Skyrim is no longer, let's just say my version of Skyrim's warranty is void. I do things in my version of Skyrim that the developers would never approve of. That's what I mean about having no filter. I literally talk about anything. I will talk about anything. Let's get the gravy ready, going. Got the tuna and the carrots. Then off the potatoes. We're making gravy and potatoes for 2 meals, actually. We'll get the swirly thing and start the gravy. The funny thing is, nobody talks about adult games or stuff like that, or all that kind of side of things. And the silly thing is, everybody does it. Everybody does that kind of thing. The is gravy. Yeah, I used to make my own gravy, but unfortunately my body can't handle any kind of gravy I can make. There's only a few types of gravy granules ones that I can. So I can't have dairy, so we use make mashed potatoes, we use a bit of oat milk. And I can't use any of the normal add-ons like you put butter or anything like that. So instead I can actually use mayonnaise, which is weird because I can't have no have normal eggs or things, but for some reason because mayonnaise is so processed, I can have mayonnaise. I use it as a butter substitute. Now, where is my big thing of scrunching up? I have a wonderful masher for mashed potatoes. We've got potatoes here that I'm mashing. I can't use pepper or salt in meals anymore either, so food can be not bland, but have to be very innovative in what I can. Okay, let's get all this out. Take the next later. Put the gravy in. Load it in an oil. I'll show you what. First, you just choose. There. You share the doggies later. Okay, so let's show you the foodykins. Oh, now I will be logging off now and having my food, and I will upload this, and then I will be upstairs and probably do a stream and whatever else is going on, and generally having a good morning. I don't know what games I'll be doing. I really want to play The Long Dark, so I will try to focus myself on continuing my game of The Long Dark. But we never know what's going to happen when I log in. So this is Jason for the Queber channel. You are all wonderful, you are. Yeah, the Space Engineers server is down. I just turned off the computer during the night. I'll turn it back up. Don't worry. So I would say bye-bye. Hello, Holy Ears. Why didn't you there? You're all wonderful. And I hope you all have a wonderful special day. And I'll talk to everybody. Remember, you can go on my... I'll put a link in for my Steam server, my Discord server. And if anybody wants to come on there, or once you're on there, add me and we can chat, because I love making new friends. So, hey David, I'm about to log off. I'll restart the server when I get thinking. I want to check a few things because the server seems to be having some lag spikes, and it's not to do with the internet, and it's not to do with the actual CPU. The Space Engineers server is having some lag spikes, so I shut it down. I'm going to tweak it this morning before I start it up and see if I can change anything to make it better. It's not to do with the resources or anything. You won't be able to connect at the moment because it isn't turned on. I haven't turned it on yet. It's still down because I want to wait until I get upstairs, and I will be tweaking the settings to see if I can fix. It isn't because it's running out of memory. It isn't because it's using too much CPU. So give me about an hour and then I'll be upstairs and I will turn it on and we'll go from there and see whether it's any better. So I will say bye-bye for now. You wonderful, special, splendiferous people.